All right, welcome back, everybody, to Roy Khan's PC Gaming. Ooh. I'm glad you all came back. Look, I'm still not done talking about these racing games. Mainly, I'm waiting for Motorsport 8. You guys know this already. And I got a message from my little brother, and he tells me, "Hey, man, you might want to go ahead and try out that new Grid Legends." And yeah, I'm going to pick it up and try it. Just haven't gotten to it yet because I thought about that. I said, well, you know what? While I'm waiting, let's actually talk about some of the games that are already out there. Those racing games that are already out there that might actually make you feel good for the moment while you're waiting. So, of course, there is. Oh my goodness. Um, Oh, they just did an update. It's not Automobilista 2, but R Factor. I think it's R Factor. R Factor just did an update, and it's pretty good talk about that. I do own it. I need to re-download it, and then take a look at that and see what's going on with it. I'm definitely going to get to that, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But one game that looks really great, it plays really great, I want to talk about is Automobilista 2. Now, I'm going to talk about the good things about the game, and then I'm going to talk about the things that suck, and that if they would actually do work on these things, this would actually, it'll really be a good run on Forza, because most of you go back to Forza because you like jumping in the races, you like the multiplayer, you love hooking up the cars. I get that, but when we start talking about Sims, you're really not going to be hooking up cars. When you talk about Sims, you're just going to be driving the cars that exist and doing some minor tuning on them for the races, because you're talking more along the lines of simulation, not so much, a twist of simulation and arcade, because, that's what Motorsport offers, and we love it. We love it. It gives us a good mix to feel good, jump in and play. And so that might be why my little brother was telling me to check out Grid Legends. I think now he might be telling me to check that out because of that. So we're gonna have to go ahead and buy a copy of that and try that out. But anyways, you are getting off track, brother. Yes, I am. Can we please talk about Automobilista 2? Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to make this quick. Automobilista 2 is one of the best looking racing games out there. One of the best looking. I mean, breathtaking, right? And the actual feel of the game when you're using the wheel and pedals. Now, remember, I'm using a Logitech G923 or G. I'm using a Logitech G Series something. And so one of the best things about having a race wheel with force feedback is you can feel everything when you're running in the game. So I know a lot of viewers out there might not have a wheel set with force feedback. If you're seriously into racing, if you really enjoy just racing behind the wheel of a car, you really need to invest. And I'll say this, there are always ways to get it done. You can do 4 easy payments. You can do the 6 to 12 month installment payments, and you can pick the wheel up pretty much from any store. You can get it off Amazon. You can find it on eBay. You can pretty much find it anywhere, and you can get it, like I said, either four payments. It was like 4 easy payments, or the 6 to 12 month payment. So you got options. If you really want to know what all the talk and the hype is about with that wheel, just pick up a wheel. Pick up any one of them. That's force feedback. You got a few brands out there. You don't got to go to the top of the line, because I know it's expensive. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom, because you don't want something that's, just a cheap piece of crap. But pick one up. Then you'll better understand what most people are talking about when they talk about these race car games. So you remember back in the days to go to arcade? I mean, oh wow. Some of you might be really young. I'm not young, but I do remember going to the mall and going to arcades. I remember playing the Initial D arcade, and what was the other one? Cross Country USA. Yo, if anybody remembers that, put that in the comments box. But the best feeling you got was when you go to the arcade in the mall, in your local mall, and you go to the arcade and you throw your little tokens in, your quarters in, and then you get on one of those race car games. They had motorcycle games and race car games. You had the wheel, you had the shifter, and you had the pedals, and even the simulator would even shake and rumble and all this stuff. So you really felt like you were in the game. And I know that so far back, and the graphics was horrible, but that's what we had back in the day. So today, you know, you do have great graphics, which is what we're looking at here with Automobilista 2. And then on top of that, you have the ability to pick up a wheel with force feedback. There's a few more things you can do if you really want to get in the game, like get a butt kicker or something. But that's, you know, to each his own. Who's going to go, how much further you're going to go into actual simulation and the feel of the races. But so that right there, the graphics and the simulation with the wheel, I mean, Automobilista 2 locks it down. I mean, if you see the wheel on the screen, you see how the wheel's bouncing around. That's how my steering wheel's bouncing around in my hands. It's doing all that. So as I'm holding the steering wheel, and as you see, I'm just turning the wheel slightly or whatever, or I hit a bump, you feel that in the steering wheel jerks. When you go around the corner tight like that and you hold it and you hit that little bump on the side, you feel all that. The wheel shakes and it jolts around a little bit, and then you got to pull it back and get straight. So it's like, wow, you can really focus. And this is just with the wheel. All right, this is just with the wheel with force feedback. So you look at your graphics, you say, okay, the graphics are great, the sound is great, because the sound is actually good quality. And then you think about, okay, well, I got this wheel and I can feel everything as I'm going. Like, you got your headphones on and you can really be a part of the game. That's awesome. Now, that's the exciting part of Automobilista 2. You see, I'm racing AI. You can change the difficulty and feel of AI to where it's comfortable for you. You don't have to go too far up. You don't have to go too far down, but you can find a good, comfortable race that fits you and enjoy it. That's all I can say about Automobilista 2. That's the end of the video right there. That's it. I've got nothing. No, come on. Obviously, I've got stuff to say. Where Automobilista 2 fails, this is where it gets good. So all that stuff is good, but it's really nothing there. You have to basically set up races, and that's the suck part, right? Like, you know, who wants to get into a game and then put all their time into setting up races? Like, now I've got to set up races to have a race. That's just ugh. All right, and at this point, I'm only talking about single player. We're going to talk about multiplayer too, but right now we're going to talk about single player. So for single player, you don't really have, you know, for instance, like when you look at Forza Motorsports, when you look at games like Grid, you see all those racing events set up that you can go click into all those racing events and jump into those races. Like, this event's going to have 5 races. This event's going to have 6 races. You got all these different things. Automobilista 2 does not offer that. Doesn't offer that. You know, it's like, so if you're trying to be a solo player, you got to set up races yourself. Even when it comes, you can join championships, which they have a few of those, but you know, it's you know, it's really missing something. But for the most part, you can get in there and set up a single player race. Now, where it really fails is multiplayer, and I'm sure this is why a lot of people just don't play the game. So multiplayer is, again, you set up the actual race, and it's usually that same race, and people join in and they play that same race over and over again, and whoever sets up the race sets up all the rules for it and everything else, so they can hone it down to just how they want it to be. And that's fine and dandy for your very specific racer. Right, so your very specific racer will have a great time with that stuff, but your casual racers are going to come in and want to join into a race, and that doesn't exist. And this is why Forza Motorsport and games like Gran Turismo tend to lead the pack. Okay, that's why they lead the pack. They have stuff that's already set up. When you join multiplayer on Forza, you know, you have all types of events going. You've got all different types of league, not league so much, they have league racing, but like class. So you've got S class, A class, S1 class, you know, different classes of races. Now, when you look at Automobilista 2, you have different types of car specs. And because these car specs exist, you actually have classes. That's just what they are. So you could actually have class races set up that are running around the clock, and this would have to run off of their servers. That means they would have to have these race events set, and their servers are running 24/7, and then people can just join into these races at any time. And for example, we'll say this: you could say GT3 events, right? And so there's a GT3 events that run, and it'll be running 24/7, and that's what their server's spitting out. It spits out a bunch of races, and the races swap out. So you might have, I don't know, 12, 13 different tracks that it spins or cycles through on GT3, and it'll be the most played tracks that people love to play. And then out of every now and then, they have to throw in a track that most people don't play, just so the random person that does show up that actually likes that track has the ability to play that track. So now you're talking about having races set up around the clock. If Automobilista 2 could do that, look, if they could get that done, they're not going to take Motorsport out the way because of the fact that that's kind of made for Xbox. Now, Automobilista 2, I don't play it on Xbox, so I don't know how it runs on Xbox. I play on PC. You're on a PC gaming channel. So I don't know how it plays or looks or anything like that. And so that would be something that have to be perfected for Forza fans to come right over. But if you instantaneously want to pick up traffic to this game, all you have to do is set up class spec racing that runs on your servers 24/7, and then you can set up ranked league racing that you set up on your servers. And if they would do this, I mean, I'm telling you, I'd be playing the game around the clock because I love the feel of the game. Y'all just don't understand. For those of you who have a force feedback racing wheel and that you have this game on PC and you're playing it, you know what I'm talking about. Every time they do an update, the game is just getting better and better. It's really bringing you into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could literally sit here and play the game nonstop if it was multiplayer and I was racing other people, because it'd be more fun then. I just, like right now you're looking at Monza, and so I had to set the race up. So now that I set the race up, now if I want to do another track, I have to go do that. So it's like, okay, well, do I want to redo this track again, or do I want to go set up another race event and do that? I would rather, when I log into the game and I hit multiplayer, it says class events, GT3 Cup, so-and-so cup, so-and-so cup, so-and-so cup, and then it says ranked league racing. If they were to do that, I would log into the game and I would say, oh man, I feel like doing some GT4 racing today. And I'll say, okay, let me go get in one of those GT4 cars, join the GT4 server, and then boom, races are going. So I might have to wait if there's a race already running, but it's okay because these races are spinning all the time, and I know that these events are going to be basic race events set up by the actual dev team, and it's running on their server, so it's going to be no nitpicking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, whether you want to use automatic or manual, who cares? It's going to be set open. You know what I'm saying? So it gives casual players, because and I'm getting long with it, but I'll say this. So with your specific racer that loves to do certain types of races, they might only want to race people that play with a manual transmission, so they set their race up that way. Casual players, no. Casual players might play automatic, they might play manual. You know what I'm saying? They might use stuff like traction control, and they might not. That's a casual player. All right, so in order for this game to succeed, they really need to set this game up by setting up multiplayer events on their servers that run around the clock. And then from there, you can only build forward. You know what I'm saying? You can build forward. If they want to make money on the game, they can start doing custom liveries. Get a team of artists to make custom liveries. And by that, I mean custom designs. You don't have to use designs off actual real racing cars. You can let people customize designs, because one of the major things that gamers like is customization. They love to have custom look and custom feel. They want to bring their car out to the track, or their livery out to the track. They want to bring out the wheels that they want to have on the car, and so you can have a selection of wheels that can go on these vehicles, that can go on them. You know what I'm saying? And then they can be swapped out so that these people can customize the look of their car. And these are just some of the things that would really catapult this game into the forefront and bring you a lot of customers to your game to play the game and enjoy the game. So yeah, I know we're waiting on Motorsport 8 or Motorsport, whatever they're going to call it, And so this is just one of the titles that you can check out if you don't mind setting up a server on your own. Or you can go find the forums and really tell the development team for Automobilista 2 they need to set up races on multiplayer on their own servers that run round the clock. Thank you. That's all I got. Catch y'all in the next one.